Hello and welcome, it's Debs here. I wanted to make a video today to talk to you about money, how to create money if you haven't got any, because I struggled for the longest time around money. And then I began to realise that money was no different to the issues that I had had in my relationships and the issues I'd had with my health. So I began to see that health and wealth and relationships, all of these things could be interchanged because they are all basically energy. Everything, we are energy, and as our energy changes, as we change energetically, then what we have in our world changes energetically. So the first thing that's really good to know is that everything that you have in your life comes from who you are being. And who you are being is another way to say where you are energetically, the state that you are living into, the state that you are bringing to life. So who you are being informs what you will do. So by the time you do something, by the time you get to the point of something you're doing in your life, like I am making this video, that is something I am doing, I can't not do that from who I am being. Who I'm being will inform what I will do, what I will say in this video, and how this video turns out, how good it is or bad it is, will come from who I am being. So who I'm being will create what I do, and then what I do will create what I have. So it is a be, do, have. So if you want to have something different in your life, if you want to have more money in your life, a better relationship with money in your life, if you want to have a different relationship, a better, healthier, happier relationship, if you want to have better health, then we have to come back to who is it we are being. When we come back there, that is going to inform what you do, which is going to inform what you have. That's how life works. And we can put different words on it and say it in different ways, but that is fundamentally how it works. So we need to get curious and interested in who it is we are being. Now, a really great thing to do is to look at our lives. Our lives don't lie. Our lives will tell us who we are being. The things we have in our lives will tell us we are being someone who has those things. The things we don't have, the things we feel we lack in our life will tell us that we are someone who doesn't have those things, doesn't think that way, doesn't have an idea of that, doesn't believe themselves to be that person. And both things are equally true. Now, we're not looking at our lives to beat ourselves up, to get angry with ourselves or any of those things. All of that is really, truly pointless. It is just having a non-judgmental look at our lives to see where the places of lack are in our lives, to know that that feeds back into who it is we are being, the concept or the idea we hold of who we are, the beliefs we hold to be true about who we are. Because we cannot do anything that goes against a fundamental belief about who we think we are. So if we want to do something different and have something different, that's the place where we have to make the change. We have to make the change in who it is we believe that we are, our being. We have to come back to the being state. Another way we could talk about it is the state of mind we live in, the level of consciousness that we live in, any of those things. But that's where true transformational change will always take place, in coming back there. And this is, to be honest, an ongoing thing. We don't do that once. We move in and out of states of consciousness all the time. We are continually doing it, moving into this state of consciousness and into another state of consciousness. But it is the one that we live at, the one that we reside at for most of the time, that informs our life, that ends. We can momentarily think of ourselves differently, think of ourselves as someone who has money or is healthy or has a great relationship. We can momentarily think of ourselves in that way. But if we just continue to go back to a state of mind where we don't have those things, that's what's going to play out in our lives. It's rather like a sausage machine. What we put in goes through the machine and comes out the other end. And once you put it in, it's going to go through the machine and it's going to come out. So if you start to change what it is you put in, the result, what will come out at the end, will be different. So how do we look at who it is we are being? How do we do that? How do we do something different there? Well, this is very much, and this is beginning to look at our true nature, beginning to get a feel for the truth of who we are. We are spiritual beings here on a human journey. Our spiritual nature, who we are, the formless nature of life, is ultimate truth. Form here is merely a mirror image of the truth of what is going on in our spirit, in our spirituality. That's the truth. So when we come back and begin to really know that about ourselves, to know that we are the creative essence of this entire universe, to know that we are the creators of all of it, to bring back the power. Like very often when we've got to a space and we don't have money, we're talking about money here, if we get to a state, I can talk about this personally, when we have got to a point where we don't have money, we have innocently and accidentally given the power that we have within us to money. We have projected it outside of ourselves and given our power to money. So now, and this has absolutely been my experience in the past, what I see is it looks to me as if money is more powerful than me. And if I had money, I could be powerful. And without money, I just lack things and I haven't got anything. And there's nothing I can do until I have money. And this kind of creates everything working the wrong way around. It looks to me like if I have money, my problems will be solved, but I can't solve my problems till I have it, and I don't have it. When I actually really saw that was what was going on, and then saw, okay, I need to see this I know it works the other way. I know that life works from the inside out, not from the outside in. So I need to look at, what do I have to do to be doing life that way, not have fallen into this trap of looking at the numbers on my bank account, looking at the evidence, using my senses to tell me, that to feed into me what appears to be true, and then acting out as if that is true. I need to move away from my senses and to move back into, to go inside, to go into my heart, to go into a deeper knowing of who I am. And that draws the power back to me. That puts me back in a place of power. And to know that I am the one that is creating this, and I am the one who can create something different. To become, to believe, to know that I am different, to really tap into that. And that is exactly what I did. And it was quite literally from a place of deciding, of making the decision, looking at who I know myself to be, and making the decision that that was who I was going to be. And there is an amazing quote about when we make a commitment to being someone different. Once we know that, once we step into that commitment, all sorts of things in the universe conspire to help us on our journey. And this is exactly what happens when we do that. So if we look at our lives and we see the areas where we are clearly not being who it is we want to be, because the being is informing the doing, is informing the having, we can come back to an idea and look at, let's take the example of money. I was being someone who didn't have money. I was being someone who struggled to pay bills. I was being someone who didn't have enough money. It looked like there was a huge lack there. So I looked at that, I saw that, and instead of getting annoyed or angry or judging myself, I just came back to, okay, who would I have to be to have the money that I want, to be able to pay the bills that I want to pay? And so I closed my eyes and my ears and I went into a meditation, and I felt into, what would it be like if I was the exact person that I wanted to be in this situation? What would that feel like? What would I be doing? What would be going on for me? And I spent some time and really, really felt into that, and then lived to the best of my ability in that state. Now, it doesn't mean that I went out and spent a whole ton of money that I didn't have. It didn't mean that I ignored what was at that present time what was true in form. Didn't mean that I ignored that. It just meant that I didn't get emotionally involved. I didn't emotionally attach to that person, to those things that were going on that were real at that particular moment in form. I just stepped back from them. I let them go, and I surrendered, and I became unattached emotionally to those things, and I became emotionally involved and emotionally attached, and was feeling into the person who has what it was that I wanted, as if it was true in that moment. Now, who we are being, as I said, informs what we do. So what I was doing, how I was showing up, how I was speaking, what was going on inside of me, that the whole feeling, everything changed. And automatically that started to inform what I have, and the situation changed. And I can see in my life that has been true around relationships, it's been true around my health, and it's been true around my financial circumstances. I have turned away from, as in not ignored and pushed away and created resistance towards the things that I don't want. I have loved them, absolutely been grateful and thankful, loved them, and then surrendered, turned away, put my attention on the things that I do want, the person, the feeling, and become emotionally attached to what it is that I do want. And automatically that creates me as being someone different. So then when I am being someone different, when my idea of who I am is different, how I show up changes. The words that I speak, I watch myself do different things, and it's done through me. And then what shows up in my world, what I have, has to be different. So whether this is something around your health, whether it's something around a relationship and across the board, or whether this is something financial with you, if you want to be seeing something different, if you want to take a non-judgmental look at your life and see something different out there in form, you have to come back to be somebody different. That's how it works. That's how we change. And when we change in this way, when we do this inner work, when we take the time to do it this way, it's sustainable because it becomes a way of life. It becomes who we are. We do have to find our way of continually living in a particular state, but we tend to do that habitually. The more we do it, the more we do it. But it becomes more sustainable because it becomes our truth. So the hardest part of this is breaking the cycles that we are already living into, the beliefs that don't look to us that they are anything to do with our thinking or who we are being. They look like they are a fundamental truth out here that we are up against. And it is really helpful for us to see there are no such things. All of these things come from within us. And when we come back to love and truth, that's coming back to being. We can simply sit in a meditative state around love and pour out love, and we will be being someone different. And once we have practiced that, we can take that further to use it more and more. Use this power, the power of love that we have within us. Use it more and more to our advantage and the advantage of every other living soul in the universe. Because we cannot truly connect with love and connect with ourselves and only benefit ourselves, because fundamentally there is oneness here. So if we use this power against another, we will use it against ourselves. If we use this power for ourselves, we will use it for another. So I hope there was something helpful there. I will be making many more videos, another one soon. If you're enjoying this, please do subscribe to my channel, like the video, leave a comment if you have any comments, and I will be back soon with another video. Take care. Bye for now.